Indeed, greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. I really do appreciate your presence. If you enjoy what it is I'm doing here, consider liking the video, consider subscribing, and do leave a comment. I try and answer every single one of them. Let's go live. If you're wondering what it is we're doing here, if it's your first time tuning in, I've basically set out to grow as much as I can within my personal development, and I decided to start this journey and start to share at least what it is I'm going through, what it is I'm experiencing, how it is I think I'm supposed to be evolving myself. And I initially started this whole journey being of the mindset of, okay, this is something I need to do for me, and this is something that I am going to be participating in. And as I've been going on and as I've been sharing this journey, so many other people have resonated with that journey and have started to embark on the same journey with me. So I'm so happy that you're here, my friends. We're going to do a lot. We're going to do so much. I do want to say something that is worth saying, and it's actually this one. Failure is not possible. No matter what you do, what experience, that experience is a creation and you have done it. So, it's hard for that one to sink in even. Failure is not possible, my friends. No matter what you do, that experience is a creation and you have done it. We have so much resistance towards doing things in our lives because we have this looming fear of failure. We we literally paralyze ourselves, absolutely paralyze ourselves just with the idea that we might actually fail at something. And we're so scared of failing that we never even try. We never even allow ourselves the opportunity to succeed. And by allowing ourselves to kind of see our lives as self-created and something that is without failure, I feel it allows us to be a lot more subjective and a lot more open with ourselves in our expression and in our experiences with our creations, instead of just kind of having this mindset of there's only one way that things can turn out. If it doesn't turn out this way, then I'm a failure, yada yada yada. We get to really experience and really live our lives by not fearing failure and realizing that it's impossible for us to fail is the first way that we do that. I do think for some reason this r slash the U show, if you will, doesn't allow me to stream there anymore. I'm not sure. Maybe it doesn't allow me to receive comments anymore. Do leave a comment, just send a single point so I know that your comments are actually coming through. If not, I'm going to try and start the stream over again. It's weird. Reddit has been giving me a lot of problems with my comments. There we go, yes. It seems they are, Jovan. I'm happy that they are actually working. Are the comments working? Yes, the comments are working, it seems, Jovan. So, I feel like I've already stepped into a mindset today. I want to actually test. There we go. Thank you, Edmund. I appreciate you as well, my friend. I want to set an intention for why it is I'm drinking water today. Yesterday's intention was perspective, and I really felt like it was something that kind of permeated my field of consciousness, something that kept coming up over and over again. It kind of sticked its head out every single every single minute, just to kind of remind me of the amount of perspective that we do have. And I feel my intention today is creation, and into realizing as well that no matter what it is we create, we're creating something. Even if you plant a garden and your entire garden dies. So this is actually, I've not even taken a sip of this cup of water yet, but I already feel like the creation aspect is really present in my field of consciousness today. So if you want to think about a gardener, or let me backtrack a little bit more even. We as humans have this tendency to only accept things as self-created when it's good, or when it turns out the way that we want it to. So for example, like when you bake a bread and it doesn't turn out the way that you expected it to, like it kind of goes lopsided, or boils over the pan, or doesn't rise enough, or whatever happens to your bread, the first thing that we do is we try to like, what's the word I'm looking for? Delegate? Is it delegate? We try to like avoid responsibility for that failure. So we're like, oh, maybe there was something wrong with the ingredients I was using. Maybe like I put the heat too high. Maybe I put the heat too low. Maybe I left it in there for too long. And like you're creating all of these excuses to why it is your creation failed, instead of accepting that, oh, I'm the one that made a mistake, and I'm the one that caused this thing to fail, and accepting even that causing of a failed project, be it baking bread, be it whatever, and seeing it as self-created, seeing it for what it is, seeing it for just another experience, literally. So like what the example I wanted to give as well is, if a gardener plants a whole garden and everything sprouts, but then it dies, like because he forgets to give it water for a week or something like that, and he comes back to his garden, or she comes back to her garden, and she sees all of these dead plants, and it's an absolute mess. Nothing is alive, and you can see all of the little dry sticks and the little bugs that are gnawing on them, or whatever you wanna imagine. Even imagining this completely dead garden, you can still see it as a creation, as something that you have created. There was no failure, even though in the sense of, if you wanted to produce food from your garden, now you've failed because you don't have the food, but you still have that experience of growing the garden, of letting it fail, of not having enough food to eat now. That is an experience. So you didn't fail, you just created something unlike you were expecting to, if you will. And it's something that have given me a lot of, I want to say, almost clarity, and a little bit of calm. I think calm is the word I want to use, just to be able to kind of relax. The wind is kind of picking up again, just to kind of relax and not be too critical with the things that it is taking on in my life, because a lot of the things that I take on in my life, I get to be very critical about. And if it's not perfect, and if it's not this way, then I discard it, and I reject it, literally, because that is the creator inside of me trying to only be perfect, and that's not what life is. That's not how I'm supposed to look at things. And if some of you might remember, like when I was still rolling joints on the live stream, if the joint didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted it to, I would destroy it and start over again. And it's been a part of my life, like this almost need to completely abolish something that I've created that was wrong, or that wasn't the way that I intended for it to be, and to start over again. And I'm not sure if it is something that's negative, if it's something that I need to address within myself, if it's something that is evil even, or if that is just part of my lived experience to be doing these things the way that I am doing them. I feel like it does however allow me a lot of calm to know that even though I create things that aren't, in my opinion, perfect, they are still creations. And yeah, I need to give myself credit for that as well. Sorry for the little bit of a tangent. Thank you, Unable Midnight, for the wholesome, my friend. I do appreciate it. Man, the wind is really picking up. I was kind of hoping it's going to be a quiet day. But it is Mother Nature's creation to have wind for us today. So if the camera is a little bit shaky and the audio quality is absolute trash, I'm sorry, but this is the way that it is. And it's a creation in its own. No failures, only creations, my friends. I hope you are well. I hope you were well as well, my friend. I am well. I'm feeling good. I've not given myself a break when it comes to like learning and studying and trying to grow. I feel like my meditation session was really nice today. This tree, or yeah, this tree behind me, I was sitting against it, and I have a really big problem with insects landing on my person, especially when I'm meditating, because I feel like I'm trying to get into the zone, and then I like hear a fly, and then I feel it on my skin, and then I'm like, I'll shake my arm, and it bothers me that I have the need or the feeling to do that, because why can't I just, you know, be be calm, be in my stillness, and allow these things to be the way that they are. At least this is what I was thinking yesterday, especially. So today, I'm meditating again, and then I feel something on my arm. So I open my eyes, and I see this little ant on me. And instead of doing the normal thing of brushing him off, I like put my hand under him. And for a solid like 3-4 minutes, I was just watching this ant as it was running across my fingers, like placing my hand so that it would continue running. And it had like one broken antenna and like one full one. And even though he had this one broken antenna, he still like was grasping for it. You know the way that they clean their antennas? They like kind of grasp it, pull it down, they put it in their mouth, and they run it through it. And I was just watching this little ant as it was like cleaning its one antenna and then grabbing for its other antenna, but it was broken, it was like off. It like had like a little stumpy to it. And it was fascinating to me to see, just to watch this little ant and to imagine it as a living, like breathing, conscious little being, and what it must be thinking. Like I wondered if it knew that it was on another being, if it realized that I could, if I wanted to will it, kill him in a moment, but instead of doing that to him, I was allowing him to live and almost being playful with him in my actions and in what it was I was doing with him or for him, or however you want to see it. And I felt like it gave me, like it made me feel some way, like maybe this Mother Earth, like we're running on her surface, you know, moving about, and she might be like, I think she is completely aware of us as well, and of our, you know, ongoings on this planet. And yeah, when I came to that realization, it was like a little bit of a surreal moment, like, oh, I think I understand something. I'm not sure what it is though. And I eventually like let him run onto a little piece of grass, and I closed my eyes again and I meditated further, and I was just kind of imagining us as these small little parts to this big whole, and how we have the capacity to be these living, breathing, experiencing devices, if you will, our bodies. How the soul that we have within us, the infinite and eternal soul, kind of allows itself to experience life through these different facets. And I, in some weird way, saw a piece of my soul in this little ant as well, in his lived experience. And I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are on that stuff, actually. Do you think that they have like souls of their own, or do you think that we share a soul? Maybe there is only one soul. The heart is where the soul resides, and we're all trying to move towards our heart. Like, man, I'm trying to learn. I'm even questioning the things that I know to be true these days. Still allowing myself to gain even more perspective and even more experience out of these things. Constant creation, right? Beautiful shirt, Mel. Thank you, my friend. This one is a little bit like all over the place. It looked like someone designed it by throwing paint on a piece of paper, but I do love it. Good morning, Jovan. Thank you for being so kind. Hey, Shane. Hey, Mel. Hey, friends. My youngest daughter is watching with me today. Well, I guess I can say hello to her. Hello. little girl, welcome. I hope that your dad has been very good to you. I hope that he's giving you all the snacks. As a kid, you just like having food, right? So know that we are beings of love. We are so powerful in our capacity to give to people, in our capacity to show people just how much we're capable of in loving. And love is something that is, it's so far beyond us. I feel it's a fundamental force of our universe. It's like the glue that keeps everything apart, if you will, or not apart, keeps everything as a part of all. Like, does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. But know that by living in this way, by living out of an extension of love, we are going to be able to change this world. The world is hurting in a lot of ways. People are hurting in a lot of ways. But by becoming aware of our capacity to love, not only ourselves, but also each other, we're going to make waves. Thank you for the silvers, Matthias. I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. Where have you been, Matthias? Hi, friends. Hey, Merman! Good to be back to this beautiful place. It's nice to have you back, Merman. So, Merman actually sent me a message on my own freaking Reddit account, whatever you want to call it. Actually, the old one. And he basically told me, oh, hey, Melt, I won't be here for like a week. I have mulch to go and like work into the land. It's gonna be hard labor. And I was thinking about Merman this entire week. I think I sent him 2 messages telling him that I'm thinking about him. And then today I also sent him a message. I was like doing this little bit of a writing exercise. Like wrote like 1,200 words of the things that I want for my future. And I printed all of them out. And while I was going through this process of thinking about the things I want to be doing, the relationships I want, the fun I want, the experiences I want, the finances I want, the charity that I want, the like, it's a whole list. And I was thinking about Merman, and I had to send him a message, and he told me that he slept this entire weekend and that he's gonna be back today. So I'm happy to have you, Merman. Welcome back, my friend. Sorry I can't make it again. Going through some things. Peace and love, everybody. I'm sorry to hear that, Matthias. You can talk to us, my friend. You have a whole group of friends that want to talk to you, that want to be here with you, that are willing to listen to you. So I hope that you do reach out to one of us, my friend. Or one of us will reach out to you. Hello, Mel. Good to see you. Hello, Drove Too Strong. Brove? Bro Eve Too Strong? I'm not sure how to say your name, friend, but it's good to have you here as well. Welcome, my friend. Her name is Emberlyn. That's a beautiful name. Emberlyn. Hello, Emberlyn. Thank you for being here with us as well. I appreciate your presence. Yeah, good evening, Mel. Good morning, friends. Good morning to you as well, Justin. I hope you're well. I hope that you're healthy. I hope that you're safe. I hope that your kids are well as well. I've been thinking about your kid as well, actually, Justin. Your boy that does the breathing exercises. I've been sending him a lot of love. I don't completely understand the extent of his condition, if you will, but I am thinking about him and sending him healing energy as well. Thank you, Edmund. Hey, Edmund. Yeah, Edmund is another G. Thank you for being here, my friend. Real people own their mistakes. Absolutely, my friend. And that's actually, ooh, man, thank you for saying that. So, I was showering today. And sorry for getting into these tangents today. I feel like I have a lot of information to get out. So, let me stretch a little bit. So, we had this like big patch of grass, like where I'm sitting right now. Actually, there was like not the best grass, if you will. It was like farm grass, and we like kind of ripped it up, and we were spreading seed to like plant better grass, if you will. Can't remember the grass type's name. Anyway, and there was like we had these rakes, and they were like those pointy rakes. Like, why am I having such a hard time articulating this? Anyway, so basically, like making the ground porous so that the seeds have place to take, and was going through this, and I actually knocked or hit our hose pipe that was next to the place we were like trying to prepare, and I made a big ass hole in this hose pipe. And like a friend was living with me at the moment, and he was going through some stuff as well, and he told me like, oh, that wasn't very intelligent. And it created such a sense of like separation within me, of him, feeling the need to say that to me, even though obviously I know that wasn't something that was intelligent. But I sorry about that, I have a little spider web in front of my camera. I basically went instantly. I got some rubber from, like, those bicycle tube rubbers. Turned it around the hose pipe, made sure that it seals properly, and I took complete responsibility for this mistake that I've made instantly. And him saying something like that, I actually went, like, after we kind of finished up with the whole preparing the area for the seeds, I went to him and I told him, do you really think it was necessary for you to say what it is you said? Do you think it was, building us up in any way? And like, he also recognized, and he said that no, it's not the best way to do it. But it showed me in that moment how we have this capacity to break each other down when we make mistakes, or to applaud each other when we take responsibility for these mistakes. And it's a choice. It's literally a choice. You can be the best person in the world and still not do these things. But when you become aware of it, and when you start to take responsibility for these things, you create with more divinity. That's so interesting. Created something different than we intended. I like that. Yeah, exactly, my friend. Exactly. But it's still a creation, and it's power you give yourself. Can I see you angry just once? Maybe. Like, we're going to be doing this every single day for this year. I might get angry. Let's see. Like, ideally, I would like to do these every single day streams for my entire life. Really, really. Like, that is actually what I want to do. Ooh, but it's gonna be difficult. It's already difficult sometimes. Like, it definitely, it was a lot more for me to get into than I actually initially anticipated it was going to be. Like, I'm definitely expending a lot of energy, and I'm okay with that. And even though I know what I've been through, I still want to continue going through that. And I would love to be able to do these streams every single day for my entire life. So I guess I'll be angry at some point in my life, my friend. Then you'll get to see me angry. I do the same thing. If it's not working, my brain disconnects from the present moment. You won't see Melt angry. He's too disciplined in life. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate your belief in me. That's the belief I have in myself as well. I've not gotten angry. I'm trying to like scan my own consciousness to see if I'm telling the truth while I'm starting to say something. I've not gotten angry once this year. Yeah, I think I can say that. Not the way I used to get angry, if that makes any sense. Like, as a teenager, I used to beat walls and scream and throw things. I didn't know how to handle getting angry or how to contain rage. But ever since I've embarked on this journey, and more so ever since I started to take more responsibility for my own mental and spiritual health, it's been hard for me to get angry, because like I feel this anger arising within me, and then I'm like, you know what? This is a self-created feeling, and this is not how I want to be experiencing my current consciousness. And then I let it dissipate, and I'm like, you know what? This is unnecessary. Wind is not affecting the audio for me. You must have a good wind cover. So, like, my phone, the phone that is streaming right now, it's technically in a little box, but my footage capture camera, it has sides where wind can pass through. So, like, my footage camera is going to be the one that has rect audio. This one should be fine, actually. And those bugs stink, right? Not the ones that I were like bugs that stink bothered me the most. Especially when you feel something on you and you like brush it off. and then your hands and your arm like smells like that chemical that they release when they think they're in danger. That can really irk me. But now I also, realize that is just a creation. That little bug created an experience for me to experience. So how can I be angry at that? Wish me luck. Have my second COVID vaccine today. Good luck to you, Justin. I hope that it goes well. I hope they give you a lollipop for sitting still and getting your vaccination. Blessings, friend. Blessings to you as well, Froggy Girl. Thank you for being here with us. Noise, Justin. I hope it goes well. I think it will. Hello, everyone. Hello, Lazy B. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here with us. I always appreciate your presence. How have you been? Sending you love and great luck for today, Justin. I'm very proud you were getting the shot. I have to wait till May 1st. That's a while. Why do you have to wait that long, Ryan? Is it because of your area? Or is there like a waiting list for when you're allowed to come? I'm kind of curious. You can notice the fly, brush it off, then notice that it bothers you. Then let all of those things go and just observe them from the place of the observer. Yeah, that's actually what I've been doing. And when I was looking at that ant, I became super, super observant. Like I felt maybe that was what I was trying to do. I was just completely observing. Not only observing this little ant running over my hand, but also observing the way that it made me feel. And then disconnecting from that feeling as a sensation of the feeling of my being, and not attaching myself to that feeling or even that observation. Hey Dan, I was actually thinking about you today, my friend. I was thinking about you. I think you weren't here yesterday, if I'm not wrong. And I was like, I wonder where Dan is. And then I was thinking, I wonder if Dan is bothered because I haven't sent him a list of the tracks that I like the most in order. And I was like feeling bad about that. And I'm happy that you're here, friend. I'm gonna get to it. I promise. I'll get to it. It's just gonna take some time. I like that perspective, Mel. I'm happy that you appreciate it as well, my friend. I really am. Coexistence isn't just us living with nature, but nature also being aware of us being aware of and living with us. I agree completely, Edmund. I feel like that's why I really value my outdoor meditation sessions. Like I feel I have a little bit more capacity, if you will, to connect with nature, to be calm. And like I used to sit on top of the rock for my meditations, and like one day in my meditation session I like reached up and I like grabbed onto one of the branches above me, and I was like, why am I doing this? I was like questioning this thing that was coming up in my field of consciousness, and I kind of deducted, or I made an assumption that, oh, my body wants to be touching the tree. So the next day I went and sat, back against the tree, and like having my head rest against it also helped me with some back support. I feel like now especially I want to be sitting completely, in the lotus position for these streams. Commitments, just another commitment that I've decided to make. So yeah, it's good to have some back support, at least in my meditations, because I've been trying to sit as upright as possible to keep the channel open, if you will. And thank you for the gold, Poopsie. Yeah, I like gold, my friend. I do appreciate it. Is a college degree important in life? It depends on what you want to do in life, my friend. It depends on what you want to do in life. If the things you want to do require you to have a college degree, then yes. If you want to be a creator, then not necessarily. If you want to educate yourself, allow yourself to get a college degree. But don't think if you don't have a college degree, you're bound for failure, because that is the opposite of true as well. Enjoying the beautiful word of Meltmore, Dan. How about you? Thank you, Edmund. Morning, folks. Morning to you as well. Tim Paninis? That's an interesting name. Welcome, my friend. I don't think college degrees are unimportant, but they are not necessary. There you go, Edmund. Very right. That's a personal question with no specific answer. Contemplate your intentions for pursuing the degree, and you will find your answer. Perfectly put as well, Dan. Thank you so much for sharing, friends, because Like that friend might have already left by the time I'm reading your comments. Like it seems I'm behind. Is there a lot of people in chat or a lot of people in the live stream? I do not know. All I know is I'm 12 minutes behind my friends, but I'm climbing the mountain. Here we go. Definitely matters what you would like to do for a career. There we go. Exactly. You're right. You're very right, Justin. We are all God looking into the mirror, experiencing who we are, learning who we are from the view of an infant perspective. Yeah, divine, individualized expressions of God, my friend. Each and every single one of us is a part of the Godhead. One node in the Godhead, if you will. A collective consciousness, sharing this experience, growing together, learning together, expanding together forever. And it's amazing. It depends if it's important to you. Also depends on the field you'd like to work in. Exactly. That's very true. I suppose my answer was rather broad. It's okay. I think giving broad answers is also a good thing. Kind of gives people the opportunity to be in that broad space of information that you've given them, and kind of like allow themselves to feel the things that they are supposed to feel for that situation that they're in, and allows them to be the the masters of their own souls. I'm chilling, Edmund, getting some work done and looking forward to a lighter evening now that the daylight savings has passed. Yeah, the daylight savings. Like I'm still wrapping my head around that stuff. Lots of friends in the chat today. Yeah. I actually, like, weirdly enough, I anticipated having a lot of people in stream today. I was like, I don't know if it's just me being weird or whatever, but I was like showering, and I was just thinking, like, when I shower, so man, I want to say 1,000 things at the same time. I love it. So when I'm showering, it's one of the things that I've actually taken out in my day. So there's this practice where you take something completely mundane, something that you do every single day, and you make it like what's the word I'm looking for? The subject of worship, if you will. So you say this thing that I'm doing, and you become aware of this thing that you're doing, and you tell yourself it is good. It is very good. So while I'm showering, and I take cold showers as well. I've not missed a day with cold showers. I'm really happy about that. It's been hectic, and it gets colder and colder every single day as it moves to winter. Ooh, I'm gonna get wrecked in winter. I'm already seeing it, but it's fine. So when I'm in the shower, I become very aware, like super aware. Like the way that like when I put shampoo, I usually, for some reason, I put shampoo like on between my middle finger and my ring finger, and then I let it run down, and then I turn my hand sideways, and then I let it run down again that way, and then I turn my hand down, and I let it run down a little bit more, and then I distribute it evenly throughout my hair. And then the way that I apply, soap to my, what do you call it? I think it's a scrunchie. We call it a scrunchie in South Africa. And like I look at how the drops why do I keep trying to say that word if I don't know how to say it? Precipitate through the little like scrunchie, and how it like falls, and then how by adding friction to it you create these bubbles. And by becoming so aware of these things, it kind of allows you more insight into yourself and into the things that it is you're thinking and feeling. And I was just like listening to psytrance as well while I was showering, like kind of doing a little bit of a jig, and I felt like today is going to be a very good day for the stream as well. And that's a very convoluted way of me to get back to your point. I'm not supposed to be here, but hey guys, okay, bye guys. Hey Lane, okay, bye Lane. It was nice to see you at least for a second. Thank you for the helpful, tactful chemist. I appreciate it, my friend. And good morning, Thor. Good morning to you. Impossible midnight. I love you, friend. Love the ant meditation story. Changing perspectives can be so powerful. It really can, Rena. And it's something that we have to be aware of. Like it's you becoming completely almost enthralled, invested and present with your experiences and with the things that it is you're feeling, and not allowing yourself to go somewhere else. Like, man, meditation has become very, very important to me. And I feel at least in my personal journey, that I'm not making as much progress as I would like to. And I feel like that's probably something that's true for a lot of people in meditation, because you, especially if you've been doing meditation for a while, you feel like sometimes you're just more in tune, and you're kind of capable of gaining these perspectives that you're not usually capable of gaining. And then you go back and you meditate again, and then you're just lost. You're like, what is it I'm doing? Why can't I do that thing that I know that I can do? So we're growing, Rena. We're growing, allowing our perspectives to be broadened every single day. We call them hard rakes or garden rakes. Okay, good. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for letting me know. I was a kid, I called them leaf combs. I would ask my dad if I could comb the grass in the yard. That's beautiful, Ryan. I love that. Leaf combs it is. Why waste your time? Enjoy. You are here 30 days, give or take. So I don't understand. I don't. I have no idea what it is you're trying to say. Enjoy. You are here 30.000 days, give or take. So, huh? Nani? Shoma? What? Thank you for the stars, Dan. You're being so generous, my friend. Gave into the magic portal. Thank you, Yash, as well, my friend. Great story. Also, we must remember to be compassionate with ourselves and others. I agree completely. Ooh, compassion. Compassion is definitely an emotion that comes from the heart, I believe. Like if you're disconnected from your heart, or you're living in your lower chakras completely, it's very difficult for you to be compassionate sometimes. Annoyed to me isn't anger. I relate, Melt. I was sad and angry when I was drinking, and now I'm calm, and I try to see how can love when anger comes to me. Yeah, I agree, Ryan. That's something that we're capable of as well. Like we have this capacity to love, and like this is something that I mentioned a while ago as well. Like my brother, my little brother, he's really like in a state at the moment. Like he hates me for some reason. Like I can tell you the circumstances. I told you yesterday as well. So mortar and pestle, he wanted it back, he got it back. I dropped it and a chip of it pieced off. And like he's just like I feel like it's something so mundane. It's like literally a piece of rock. And it's a piece of rock that he didn't even like pay for, so it's not something that he like has this sentimental value attached to. It was laying at the bottom of his cupboard when I kind of commandeered it, and like I gave it back to him without any resistance, without like a single negative word, without having any problem with it. And he just has this anger, like this constant anger, and I understand it as well. That's the thing as well. When I was his age, I was also very angry, so I'm not judging him for it at all. But I know I still have the capacity to love him. I don't have to get angry because he is angry, because I feel like that's something that we're very prone to as well. When someone is angry at us and starts to like create confrontation, we're like, okay, let's stretch, let's go, boop, 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 boop. I can also be angry, and I don't think that's the way. It's never something that's helpful either. It just makes you miserable. And like I think the thing with being angry as well is like afterwards you're going through these scenarios of like, oh, I'm gonna say this, oh, I'm gonna do so, oh, and then after the confrontation you're still in that mindset. Oh, I should have said this. Oh, I should have done this and this. Oh, if I only had this line to tell him in that moment. It's destructive. Being angry is never helpful. But when you love someone, and when you completely go into that confrontation with the sense of love and forgiving them and being there for them, even if they're trying to be hurtful in their own way, it just gives you so much power over your own feeling. I stay disciplined enough to allow myself to become mad or angry. All loving energy. To not allow myself to become mad or angry. All loving energy is the way. I agree as well. And it is something that you have to be disciplined with. Like, you're very right about that as well, Ryan. Like, it's not something that you can kind of just, like be nilly-willy about. Like, oh, guess I'm, gonna do it this way. Like, you have to like be be consistent. Like, and you have to realize when these things arise in your field of consciousness as well, and be like, nope, gonna cut that right there. Not gonna allow this to happen within myself. Hey Naomi, I may not be here by the time Melt gets to my comment. I'm at work, but I hope everyone has a lovely day. Like, I don't know if you're still here, Naomi, but I did get to your comment eventually. Hello and welcome, and thank you for being here for as long as you were, even if it was for a brief moment. I've been good. I got help from someone else about this issue with my stepdad. I talked to my mom about it, and she is very understanding of my boundaries to have a relationship with him, but instead to be cordial and coexist. But instead to be cordial and coexist, to not have a relationship with him. Oh, I didn't read the not. It makes sense, my friend, and I'm happy that you're respecting yourself and going into it from a mature mindset. Setting healthy boundaries. I'm thinking about you as well, Dan. I don't know if you're still here, my friend. How's things been going with you and your situation? Like the last time that we were talking, like almost the same kind of situation happened. So I'm kind of curious. Waiting list on vaccine, elderly people and frontline workers get it first. All male adults in my town are able to get the shot then. Okay, that makes sense. But aren't you one of the frontline workers, Ryan? Working in like the hardware store? Because you also have to deal with people in the front line, right? Am I missing something? I don't think so. Am I? Our group gave me this help. I would love to look back at Discord to list who, but I haven't thanked the person. Thank you. They know that they are appreciated, friend, and helping you is thank in its own. Like, I think that is something that people are starting to realize these days as well, is by being there for each other and helping each other and loving each other, you gain so much value. Like, I don't know if value is the right word, but I think you gain soul. Like, you gain soul by helping others. Where do you get these shirts, man? I don't know if this one is branded. From shops, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, the vaccine distribution has been really slow in the States. It's been even slower in South Africa, my friend, so I guess we have to bear with it, right? Get the shirts at the mall. Yes, you're right. Thank you for telling him as well, Ryan. No, I wasn't bothered at all. I was taking the weekend to disconnect, playing some video games, worked on a ton of new music, and got some job apps done. Good. That sounds amazing, Dan. I'm so happy to hear that. Like, especially the ton of new music. It makes me excited to hear, my friend. Makes me very excited. So slow in the USA. My wife has her vaccine already because she runs 2 adult autistic group homes. Autistic group homes? Okay, that's amazing, Ryan. Tell your wife that she is greatly appreciated and loved as well. I think she knows, but tell her anyway. Hey Melt and everyone, I have to get ready for work. Just wanted to say hi. Really grinds my beans. Thank you for being here, my friend. I don't know if you're still here. Good luck with work. I hope this goes well. I can be patient. I'm happy, Dan. Only 32 active, but it seems we're all very chatty today. I dig it. Share away, my friends. Yes, please do. Please do. I'll get to, like, well, I'll keep going. Like, I'm not going to stop reading comments. Definitely, I think I'm at least a little bit more awake now that it's later. That it's later? I'm a little more awake now that it's later. You mean like in the actual day? Or do you mean like awakening? You're awake. Like I'm having a hard time. Retoural? I don't understand, Ryan. Something's missing, man. Where's the lemon haze pliff? Merman, you've been gone a while, actually, my friend. We're no longer smoking on stream. No longer smoking on stream. Yeah. So, like, initially, like, my old account is still not working. I try, like, every now and then. I guess I'm just gonna be streaming on this account anyway. But, like, initially, when our account got blocked, I kind of assumed it was because Reddit saw me as, you know, not being brand friendly, because sometimes we do actually reach the front page of Reddit, and me smoking a joint, I kind of assumed they were like, no, we can't have this cut this guy's account. So when I started this new account or streaming on this new account, I kind of made the commitment not to smoke, because it's much more important to me to be able to actually stream than it is for me to smoke a lemon haze spliff, if you will. Winter is almost over here in Montana. Are you excited about that, Ryan? Man, it's so cold for so long, so I can imagine. Mindfulness, showering, melt is what I do as well. Okay, I'm happy that you're also on that train, Ryan. Oh, it's trippy. All of the synchronicities you and me share, my friend. Hey, bro. Hope you're well. Much love. Where's the monkey and the trampoline today? Monkey and the trampoline has been put away, my friend. I've put them back into the filing cabinet. I have this filing cabinet of magic things. Like, you pull out this paper, and then you like shake it, and then the monkey comes out. And then you pull out this paper and you shake it, and the whole trampoline just like pops out into existence. But I've filed them again, put them away for another time. What is your accent? I'm from South Africa, my friend. Every day with this monkey. Every day, Javon. Every day until I'm gonna have a monkey, I guess. Melt accent is Dutch, I believe. Technically, I have a Dutch accent, but I would rather say Afrikaans. Because that is the language that I speak. Interestingly enough as well, if me and a Dutch person were to try and converse with each other, we would be able to understand each other. Hello, Mel. Glad to see you today. Hey, Northern Lolo. Lolo? Yeah, I think that's how I'm supposed to say it. Like, I keep saying it every day, but you haven't corrected me just yet. So, good morning to you as well. I'm happy to have you here as well. Dutch South African, I believe now. Yeah, about that. Should be not too far off. Definitely South African. I have the same accent. You're a South African friend as well? Then we have two. Yeah, she's also South African. My mom is home. Is she? Yeah, she is. I don't know if you can hear it. Mel, gotta ask, have you heard of The Law of Assumptions by Neville Goddard? My little brother hates me too because I care for him. He has a drinking problem. And it's hurtful. It's hurtful, Ryan, especially when we only have love for our siblings and they have this resentment towards us. But I have not read the book Law of Assumptions. I feel like it's a necessary one. Good morning / evening, friends. Hello, Auntie B. I don't know if you're still here with us, but I'm sending you so much love and light. Sending you Uncle Becky and Buddy so much love. Even little Jerry, like sending you all so much love and light. Thank you for being here with us. He openly says he's South African and also speaks Afrikaans. Ja, ek kan Afrikaans praat as ek wil. Dis 'n baie weird taal. Ek voel dit is 'n weird taal. Net is die manier hoe jy sekere tipe goeders sê en omdat ek so vinnig praat. Like, I was just talking Afrikaans, saying it's kind of a weird language, but I feel it's more weird because I speak it as fast as I do. How old is your brother? He's 17, turning 18 soon, Dan. How is your Monday going? Monday is going really well, Auntie B. Going really well. I did a lot of work today. Got some studying done. Had some really good meditation. You know, what's the word? Enlightenment, information, nuggets of truth, whatever you want to call it. So I'm very happy. One day he pushed me to the ground when I tried to hug him. Instead of yelling back at him, we have to let our brothers go, but still be there to love them. So, oh man, my back. I agree with you, actually, Ryan. And it's something that is very difficult for us to accept as well. To have that ability to kind of release someone because we love them as much as we do, and still being open to receive them if they want to come back. Because it's a very difficult balance to have, because I feel the opposite of love isn't hate. The opposite of love is indifference. So, you're kind of creating a space for you to be indifferent towards your brother as well when you're feeling those ways. And it's not what I want to be doing. I don't want to feel indifferent towards my brother because I love him, obviously. But yeah, it's difficult, the letting go part, because I don't want to. I don't want to let go. But I guess that is also part of my journey. Part of the stuff I need to learn. Mm. Wow, Ryan, I'm so sorry your brother is like that. It's hard being so close to people that are resistant to love and happiness. Well, like, I'm also sorry, Ryan, but I am not sorry that. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry because if it wasn't for that situation as well, and for it being the way that it is, you would not be the way that you are. So I see it as perfectly neutral, and it still has the capacity to bring love and light into this world. Thank you for the wholesome, my friend. I have become obsessed with love, Ed, and that has helped me to deal with my brother. I can imagine it will. I can imagine it will. Do you talk at all? I'm kind of curious, Ryan. Thank you for being so resilient in love. That's how to be when the world needs. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Jovan, as well, for being that as well. Like, I think the reason we're here and the field of consciousness that we're creating is people that want to be there from a place of love first and foremost, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the person, regardless of what is being said to us. We can still accept these things from a place of love and realize that we are whole beings and nothing can be taken away from us. Nothing can really hurt us. Everything born in time is also going to die in time. And our souls was never born in time. It's infinite and eternal. And no one, no matter what they say, can ever take that away from us. So by becoming aware of that, we give ourselves power. You would think my job would be the frontline Lamar, but frontline workers in my town are the nurses and doctors. Oh, okay. Maybe that was my mistake as well. I do understand now, Ryan. Thank you for sharing. Neighbor's cat keeps visiting me and cuddles a lot. She makes me so happy. You know, like that's actually a really good thing, Rena, because like there's this chart where like amount of fun versus amount of effort is like here, and like having your neighbor's cat is like all the fun without any of the effort. So that's tonks. Thanks for saying that, Meltmore Love Crew family. We all love you, Ryan. We all love each other. Beginning of spring break here, and Uncle Becky starts his new schedule, so it's been a slow morning. I'll get moving soon. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay to have some slow mornings. I think the world is way too rushed, actually, Auntie B. Like, people are so angsty, like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to run here, I need to run there. They're spending their mornings, their Monday mornings, like eating their breakfast already with their minds projected to their office space, thinking about the things they need to do, thinking about the people they need to deal with. And yeah, it's good to have some slow mornings sometimes. Edmund, I think it is saying that your stream is an hour later because of our daylight savings, so he is more awake. Oh, okay. I meant I'm more awake because it's an hour later in the day because of that. There we go. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for saying that, my friend, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I wake up exactly the same time every morning. So, like, if it's daylight savings, you literally wake up an hour earlier so that you can, like, kind of conform to the way that it's not supposed to be because it's like plus 1 hour or minus 1 hour or whatever. Meltmore, thank you for being awesome. You brighten my days. You brighten mine, friend. Thank you for creating such a beautiful message for me to read. I appreciate you. I really do. Donna Summer, she's my girl, lol. I don't know who Donna Summer is, actually, Ryan. I have no idea you were banned. I'm happy that you're still here. I don't think I was banned. Like, my account is just not working. Like, I can still comment and still like post photos and stuff on my user, but I'm not able to stream from that account anymore. And we had like 3,100 friends on that account as well, and I was like very perturbed that like those friends that were like, okay, I want to see this again, maybe they're looking for that account or going to that account and trying to find these live streams and not being able to. But I realized that everyone that needs to be here will be here, and I've been living with that as my truth. Hey, also, if you want to post anything to the r/Meltmore, I've got like 5 awards to give for the next week. Sick! You have stonks, Jovan. I've also been giving away all of the coins that I've been getting. It's nice. It's nice. I think I gave you a gold, like your Rockword. He was, is it? Yeah, it's Rockword. He was just too precious. Magic monkeys, lol. Magic monkeys. Thanks again for the gold ripple effect of all of those lovins. Yeah, you see, there we go. You're so welcome, Jovan. Really, melt sarcasm. Love it so much. Like, it's a little bit. I'm becoming a little bit more aware of my sarcasm, and I'm trying to be more emotive when I'm being sarcastic as well. Like, yo, my family is so sarcastic. Like, we're all intellectuals, if you will. So we're very against saying stupid things at the dinner table. And if something stupid is being said, you'll get like instantly 5 different like sarcastic answers. For example, yesterday we were sitting at the dinner table while the power was off. Was it yesterday? Or the day before yesterday? Maybe the day before yesterday. And we were sitting at the dinner table with with flashlights just to illuminate everything. And we have some dried meats hanging, and we have a fan that has to like blow over it. And like the power is off. And my brother just like randomly quips, "Why is the fan off?" And like the collective household looks at him, and I could just see the sarcasm like bubbling up, and I just like quickly said, "We don't have power." And he was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." But yeah, we're very sarcastic as a family. I love it though. Sometimes it's good. Rockward Steve, yes, Merman knows about Rockward Steve as well. I still share some knowledge later in Discord. My brother Bear about law of assumption. It has to do with our imagination becoming reality through present imagining or persistent imagining. Yeah, like I'm already doing that actively, and I feel more so than ever. I actually wrote out 10 documents of things that I want to manifest in every single day, and I've printed them all out, and I'm gonna be putting them up in my room. And I'm going to be reading them out loud and imagining what it would feel like to realize those things before I even do my dancing streams. Manifestation, my friends, actively manifesting our realities. I'm not sorry for the lessons I learned with my negative brother's actions towards me. I'm also not sorry, my friend. It's perfectly neutral. It's exactly the way that it's supposed to be. I haven't talked to my brother since October, and he just had twins born. What? I wanted to see them and reconnect with him. He was drunk and not ready for my love yet. I hope that the twins like kind of convince him to stop the drinking, Ryan. Man, like if you're going to be completely numb while you have twins, sure. I don't want to imagine that. Like try and reconnect with them. At least, if anything, to be the loving uncle, because I think they deserve that as well, Ryan. Like I'm not trying to tell you how to live. That's just how I'm feeling right now. Sorry for the bomb in chat, everyone. It's okay. Drop all the bombs you want, Ryan. I'm I'm in the bunker of love. No bombs are going to penetrate. I was a headlamp on a northbound train. I'd shine my light on the cool Colorado rain. Yeah, do that, my friend. No apologize necessary. Yeah, no apologies. Exactly. I agree completely, Edmund. Well, I dropped my daughter off, but now my neighbor Jay is tuning in with me again, rolling up some juicy fruit today. That sounds good. Hello, neighbor. How was your fishing? Did you actually catch anything? I'm kind of curious, Shane. I'm not sure if you ever said that you caught anything. Did your neighbor? Did you catch anything, friend? I'm curious. Exactly. The graph fun effort is a nice way to put it. Also, it's a nice way to practice a lack of control, since I don't know when she'll come, nor for how long she'll stay. Exactly, exactly. And that's beautiful, Rena. So you're kind of being tested in your own way, given this experience, and then having this experience temporarily taken away, and then having it again, and the give and throw, the give and take in that situation is also beautiful. So basically, we lost 1 hour. We went to bed on Saturday, and then we woke up, and the clock said 8 a.m. But the day before, the same time would have been 7 a.m. Does that make sense? Yes. 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 Sure. It makes sense. It makes. No, it does not. Like, does your phones change? Do the alarms on your phones change as well? How do they implement that? I don't understand, and I don't know why. My head just does not want to, like. But how? But how do you lose an hour? Because there's still 24 hours. Maybe it's just monkey brain not wanting to compute. We set our clocks. Okay, we set our clocks 1 hour ahead, so it's technically an hour later. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Thank you, Edmund. Uh, and in fall, it's the same, but instead we gain an hour, so 7 a.m. would become 6 a.m. But why? Like, does it help? Does it make a difference? Like, I don't see the practicality of it. Right? Am I just stupid? Like, why do I not understand why? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, just why do that? mm. Da 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 da. But not really. It's weird. Oof. Skipped and out of context. You mean our conversations are out of context? I feel the context is love, my friend. If you want to like find something, complete love of the experience, love of learning, love of seeing where our thoughts take us, and allowing ourselves to evaluate the things that we feel and the things that we say constantly. Yo, dry sarcasm is the best though. It can be. Like, I feel there has to be a little bit of uh, rapport between people if you want to be like really sarcastic with them, because especially growing up in a very sarcastic household, I was kind of despised in high school, especially because I'm Eva. I'm Eva. Kom eens op. Awesome, my wolf turkeys. Awesome, my wolf turkeys. I was like kind of despised in high school because I would be like ultra sarcastic when people asked stupid things in class. I was a little bit of an asshole, I guess, but at least I'm not doing that anymore. Awesome, my Evas. Awesome, my Eva. Awesome, my blokkertjie. Ek is lief vir jou. Ek is lief vir jou is our way of saying I love you. I love you, Eva. And these people love you as well, I can guarantee. They're probably typing right now how much they love you. Oh, she's my little sweetheart. Oh, this dog. Like, I don't think I'd be able to own any other dog than a Zolo, like going on with life, just because she has shown me like so much capacity to love, like in a dog. Like, she's very intuitive as well. Since she's a naked doge, she likes blankets, and I feel like since we're naked animals as well, like she has a she has a little bit of a connection to us in that way. Look at her like blissing out. Oh, I love her so much. My Evakis. You guys make biltong? Yes, we make biltong. I was gonna say biltong, but I didn't know if you'd actually know the term. I love when I can't quite tell. Okay, that's the best type of sarcasm. I love that my family is very sarcastic as well. I'm happy that I'm not the only one. Shane, you have the best job ever. You do, Shane. I was actually thinking about that today. I've been thinking about your post of like the branding thing for like your waxes and stuff or your dabs. Best job ever, dude. Really, really got the best job ever. That's so cool. That's actually something that I wanted to do for a very long time in my life. And I, like, who knows? Maybe I still will. But, like, when I was a teenager, that was my dream job. And I was telling my dad that I was going to do that as well. And they recently started legalizing cannabis in South Africa. So it might be a possibility someday in the future. Don't be sorry, Ryan. We are here for you in better and worse times. Exactly. You want to go? Are you done? Oh, no, done. Okay. Good on B. I hope you are well. My connection sucks, but keep it up. There we go. You want to go now? Sadly, my little brother left her. Now I'm trying to connect to him. And yes, I agree. I want to be the great uncle. I want to start a bank account for them and put money into it for them. That's very noble, Ryan. Thank you so much for even considering doing that, man. Like, you're going to be, not only want to be, you're going to be that loving uncle to them. Yes, your phone automatically changes. Basically, the clock goes from 1:59 a.m. straight to 3 a.m. That's so weird, dude. It's so weird. Time is like money, just an agreement. Time is like money. Time is actually our most valuable resource, technically, if you want to think about it. It is the one resource that is not renewable. And we just kind of like nilly-willy give it. Here, you have some of my time, you have some of my time. And for the first time ever, I feel like I'm spending my time productively, being here with you, my friends. Like, we're spending time, filling our consciousnesses with good energy. And I think that is something that's infinitely valuable. My 16-month-old is very interested in listening to you this morning. He is so used to the video chat due to COVID-19, so he's trying to wave to you. I'm waving back at him. Hello, little man. Hello. And thank you for listening to me. I hope that the information that I'm putting out is being absorbed and, taken into his little consciousness so that he may be a being of light and love as well. Do you enjoy South Africa? I enjoy the good parts of South Africa, my friend. Yes, I can say that without doubt. It's a vestigial practice for farmers. It is totally silly, and most Americans want to see it done away with. Okay, I'm happy that I'm not the only one feeling that way, Dan. I was like, why do that? We should just get an hour once a month. That also doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever works, my friend, I guess. Stupid American government wanting more work hours from the slave labor. I don't know why we have it either. It was a pain in the 90s because you had to change old clocks and phones to do it, and phone do it automatic. Changing all of your clocks, and like, how regularly does this happen as well? And like, do you just like gain 1 hour and then it's like you gain an hour for like the next few months and then it changes again? Like, it just sounds like a mess. I used to think daylight savings happened for the whole Earth at the same time. Very confused why almost every place on Earth does it in a completely different time. Yeah, Rena, like, I still don't understand it. Yeah, Eva. Yeah, Eva is... I love that dog so much. I would die for her. Yeah. I would literally die for her. She's so precious. I love her. She's a sweet dog. Yeah, now she's not here to receive all of your compliments. Got some great screenshots, Mel. You will love. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan. Yay. I love biltong, man. So good. Biltong is amazing, dude. Yeah. Like, biltong is actually the one dish, if you will, from South Africa that I hold with the highest regard. Like, all of the other native food types, I'm like, kind of about, but biltong, dude. Oh, okay. It seems my stream has been cut short again today. It's okay. Not the end of the world. I really enjoyed spending this time with you, my friends. Thank you for being here with me for as long as you were. I think we spent time constructively, thinking about the right things, building on the ideas that we know. I love you, my friend. I love you so much. I want you to know that and I hope to see you again tomorrow to share in this love even further, to grow even further, to experience our creations.